Hi and welcome to this 20-minute mobility routine where I will show you my favorite exercises for flexibility and mobility, which I have found and incorporated into my own practice throughout the years. It's a great way to start your day or to get ready to perform prior to more strenuous exercise or an event. The first exercise is called the standing leg circle, where you simply swing your leg forward, sideways, and backwards. I learned about this exercise in the book Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey. The key in this exercise is to control your leg while it swings, and that you do not rely too much on momentum, but properly guide your leg consciously. You perform most of these exercises on both sides, but for the sake of this video, I will only show mostly one side of the body. Try to aim for 8 to 10 repetitions. The second exercise is from the same book by Aubrey. It should get your heart rate up a little bit and get your body ready for rotational movement. This exercise is called the lunge twist. Simply step forward with one leg and twist your upper body sideways. Make sure you don't slouch and keep an active high chest. You should be careful not to overextend your knee over your foot, or it could lead to excessive strain on the knee. The first few exercises of this workout are quite easy to do as they rely solely on body weight movement. You could do them anywhere you like, and you should feel relatively comfortable doing these. If you are doing these exercises for the first time and you feel aches or pains that feel unnatural, don't just push through the exercise. Mobility exercises can be a really good way to expose potential imbalances in the body. This third exercise is one that I learned from Ido Portal. On his channel, he actually shows multiple progressions of this exercise, and he calls it the queen of all stretches. It is a lot more challenging than it may seem. You put one foot forward and the opposite side's hand reaches to the side of the chest of the forward foot. Try to keep your forward foot's knee stretched while you touch the back of the knee, or if you are really flexible, your heel or Achilles heel. Don't bend to touch your target and do not push too far. With progressive loading, you can improve faster. This next exercise I learned from Elliott Hulse as part of his daily bioenergizer warm-up routine. It is called the thrust reach because you're putting your body into a place where it would naturally go if you were to fall over. You may feel scared or fearful to do so. For this exercise, you stand on one leg. You can bend your leg slightly while you bend over to touch the ground and balance on one leg. Then you get back up to your starting position again. For this exercise, 8 to 10 repetitions are recommended as well. And as you can see in this video, balance is something that I should incorporate as it is really good for athletes that have a history of ankle mobility issues. The scorpion is a really good opener and is challenging the body again to rotate in ways it is probably not used to. You lay face down and you turn your left leg to your right hand or your right leg to your left hand. You should really feel this in your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles. As many of us are sitting a lot during the day, this is a great way to address the tightness in the front of your body. When we sit a lot, our pectoral muscles shorten from poor body mechanics, and this is a great way to open the body up. In line with the previous exercise, this exercise is about loosening the muscles in the front of your body. Many people have a lot of physical, muscular tension in the front of their body. This closeness, rigidity, or tightness may affect the deepness of your breath. You may start vibrating here, which is a sign that there is tension stored in the body. There might be some initial resistance, but make sure you keep on breathing calmly and confidently in and out. This exercise really targets the hips. The feet should be about shoulder width apart, and the knees should be locked to keep the hips from rotating. Try to go really deep on the exhale and let go of all the stress and all the tension that you're holding on. Although the exercise seems simple and easy, it can be quite intense because of this. After this intensity, it is good to just hang a little bit into a hamstring stretch. Get grounded and undo all the extension that we have done. In addition to increased injury risk, tight hamstring muscles may affect sports performance negatively. Tight hamstrings cause your hips and pelvis to rotate back. As a result, your lower back flattens, potentially causing back pain. If your muscles have tightened up, your muscles are working at less than 100% of capacity, and your performance will be down as a result. Therefore, it is recommended to stretch your hamstrings regularly. For the next exercise, don't be taken off by the fact that you will look like a weirdo. Especially if you're suffering from back issues, this exercise will work like magic. It's pure articulation of the spine, and dancers of many different styles will use it as part of their warm-up. Just be aware that if you have back pain, trying to strengthen the back is not always a good idea and can sometimes even worsen the symptoms. They say you're only as young as your spine is flexible, so keep that in mind while you perform this exercise. If you find this exercise difficult to begin with, you can also use any vertical surface, like a wall, and you start touching it with your nose first, then your chin, your chest, your abdomen, and finally the pelvis, and repeat the motions. The integrated hinge is a great reminder for the body that the hips are the powerhouse and also the place where movement should originate. The feet can be shoulder width apart while you put the weight on your heels. Your toes are gripping the floor. You pull your hips further and further back while you push against the floor as you lift your torso. Your hands are in a so-called sphere of tension, where you imagine your hand holding a balloon that is fully expanded. You can just barely reach around it. The Woodpecker rotation is a rotational exercise that is really pushing the glutes to work as hard as they can. Your front foot is flat on the floor and hinged at the hip, with your knee behind the ankle, fingertips touching. Your pelvis should start rotating in the direction of the front leg with all of the weight on the front leg. There should be a natural limit as to how far the hip can rotate. Your upper body could rotate further, but make sure you focus on the hip and activation on the glutes. The windmill, as well as the last few exercises, are based on the foundation training methodology. It is included in their famous 12-minute clip that has over 4.5 million views on YouTube. You bring your arm all the way into rotation and make sure the torso is also rotating, not just the shoulder. You should feel a big stretch in the adductor, the inner part of the leg. These are just a few of all the foundation training exercises, and they have a big library of exercises for neuromuscular reprogramming. By origin, the squat is a resting position. Yet many people in Western society have difficulty getting into this position or staying in it for a longer amount of time. The purpose is to squat as deep as you can and to stretch the ankle, knees, and hips. Also, make sure you keep on taking deep breaths while in this position. You should feel comfortable squatting and transitioning in and out of the squat. And this exercise, like many of the other ones before, should be a good way to offset many of the postural imbalances that we have from sitting all day. There are various variations that you can do in the squat, such as the prayer for additional hip mobility, the reach for ankle mobility, or the sky reach for an additional rotational challenge. Of course, you should do these on both sides as well. If you really want to step up your squatting game and see how much you can improve and what it can do for your body, I would recommend to check out Ido Portal's 30-30 challenge, where you squat 30 minutes a day for 30 days straight. The last exercise is a resting pose where you can simply sit down. It is good to move slowly into this position. Your back leg should be supporting and your front leg's hip should be opening. If this exercise is hard in the beginning, you can lift your leg a little bit or you can use a prop to hold on to. Now I'm doing this on a hard surface, but I would really recommend to do this on a yoga mat, a blanket or something similar. The best is to get a 90-degree stretch from the hip to the knee to the foot. However, if you have some tightness like myself, you really have to work your way up there. Just don't force anything here, as you don't want to damage your knees in the long term. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe or leave a message in the comments. See you next time.